Hey everyone, I'm out on a post-dinner walk and I thought I would bring a couple stress tips. And these are kind of, I would say, more uncommon stress tips. We all know some different modalities, like I always do breath. But in this case, I'm going to bring two that are largely not as well known but are pretty common. And that is the benefit of our mindset about stress and benefit of having friends or community or along those lines and stress. So, there was a study done on rats, and this is all about mindset. As the rat A is on a hamster wheel or a kind of wheel running, gets to choose whenever it wants to run, so it gets exercise, it gets all the benefits of exercise. So that's rat A, able to run whenever it wants. Still, it is engaging in stressful activity by running. That is a stressing exercise. And then there's rat B. So rat B is forced to run anytime rat A is running. So rat B's wheel is hooked up to rat A, so it doesn't get to choose when it runs. It just has to run because the wheel spins when rat A runs. Now, this is huge because it's uncontrolled stress. And uncontrollable stress is perceived as much worse, as more as distress or chronic stress. So this chronic stress that this experienced, it got all the disbenefits or the kind of bad side of stress. So rat A and rat B did the same amount of exercise. It wasn't one that was over-exercising, the other that was not exercising enough or anything like that. They both got the same amount of exercise. They said the only difference being that one got to control the stress and one, it was uncontrolled and was forced to do it. So that is a lot about a kind of choice, and it can affect. Now, the rats didn't really know about mindset, but we have this kind of more brain that can kind of tell, and we can adjust our mindset based on situation. Maybe you think things, but we can think about them being more in our control. So like people doing hot cold contrast there, or like cold showers, saunas, those stress, but you can choose to add, you're controlling the stress rather than you are dealing with something at work that you didn't foresee coming. So that is number one. Number two then is the power of friends to help benefit stress. So this is another study was done at the University of Virginia with, I think it was like 34 students. And what they did was they had them hike this hill, and then they had to hike it with a backpack on. Now the backpack made that hill seem steeper to the students. Makes sense, since obviously the more weight you have, the heavier it's going to feel, the more steep the hills feel because you have more weight on you. Again, so what did they do next? They had them walk with a friend. And when they walked with this friend, even with the backpack on, they perceived the hill as less steep. They forgot, in a sense, about the hill. And they on friend, and they had someone along with them. It's that huge thing, is that aspect of having someone going through it with you for stress. So, and it was even more beneficial the closer the other friend, or the how closer the friendship was they described between their friend and them. So if it was a stranger, it was less so, and if it was a close friend, it was the hill seemed less steep, and so more benefit. Now, before we jump into just some quick breathwork session here, I'm just gonna do 6-10 breaths. Is how I challenge you to how can you do maybe two of those things together, and that could be. You could help someone. Maybe it's summer, like plant a garden or weed the. And if you go out and help them, not only do they have less work to do, but you'll be joining in, and they'll have less, or very likely will have less perceived stress, and you will get the additional benefit of you choosing to go out and do it, and getting in the kind of benefits that come from just moving your body and getting activity or exercise in. So that's my challenge to you. Now, I'm just gonna do 5 in, 5 out here for like 6 breaths or so, like a minute. So we do 6 breaths, that'll be exactly a minute. So I'll count in, and then it's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be the in breath, and then out 2, 3. So in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 2, 3, 4, 5. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. And out. In. Last one. Out. And that's time. Now, you might not think that's much, but even just changing our awareness to the breath has power enough to take our mindset away from whatever we are tending to focus on. So if we can just change our awareness a little bit, we can do quite a bit. All right, thank you for tuning in, and good night.